Oh. What up, Ian? How you doing? How goes it? Okay. I'm gonna work on this plane today. The thing embarrassed me pretty hardcore on the live the other day. Not embarrassed me, but it caught a lot of wood. It just caught a lot of wood between the chip breaker and the blade. Now I gotta do something about it. Hey, Ian says he's doing good. Good to know, Joe. Good to know. Just sitting up a little bit over here. Waiting for a few more folks to come in. And I'm also thinking about doing this cane today. Just putting some fire on it because I kind of like putting fire on stuff. And it gives a really good looking patina, I think. And I think this cane could use some. It's gonna go on like I'm thinking from here where my fingers are to here where my other fingers are. Inside of there, just go all black with the burn, you know. Show some of that carving. This is a red light, green light cane, but if you put a flame behind it, maybe you can see it better on this. There's Jesus in there. Let me see if we can see it better this way. I did a short earlier. Turn the light out. You see it? What's up, Runic? How you doing? We're just showing my weird cane. And the secrets within. We're gonna put some thanks, Morgan. I appreciate it. Sherman said hi. Rodrigo said hi. What's going on? How you doing? Rodrigo says I'm from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Brazil. Welcome. Welcome to my chat. Runic says, how's he doing? And he's doing fine. Very good. Purvis says it's beautiful what it is. This is a cane. We're going to set some fire to it. I think we're going to set some fire. I'll give you a preview of... Definitely put some fire on this thing at some point. And it... You know, that's a different scenario, but I love this thing. But that's to make it look rustic. I'm not going for rustic here. I'm going for depth. Now this cane's got some fire to it, but a little bit different situation, like to show off kind of this grain and make it look like zebra wood a little bit. And then some fire did that, and then fire did that. This is what I think I'm going after this time. Except I got to figure out how to do it just here in the middle. And maybe I'll have to do some, maybe I'll have to wet some towels and tape them to it or something like that to keep from flaming it. You said off key, bro? I'm sorry. Like a star, Novocaine. Your works are good. I appreciate it. Skeletor, what's good? What's good? Parvish, how you doing? Everyone give this man a like, he says. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you, thank you. So, we're going to figure out how to get this thing together today. And we're going to do it relatively quickly. Don't worry, I'll be on it for like a second. Off key means it's really good in England. Oh, word up. I appreciate that. Over here, we might say dope. I'm old school, so I might say fly. I might be old enough to call something fresh. But yo, glad to have you in the chat. I'm glad you like the work so far. Hopefully we'll get it better. This cane, I've done a lot of stuff to it. It still feels a little bit muted to me. It still feels a little bit not all the way right yet. You know what I mean? Throw some light back on the situation. Just don't feel 100%. And I think some color would do that. You know what I mean? I think some color would do that. I like this stripe, but that'll be there even if this is all black, I think. Bruce Wayne the Gray, what's the happenings, Playboy? Good to see you in here. Dejanay says hi. What's going on, Queen? I'm assuming Dejanay is a queen. I apologize if I'm insulting somebody. But this has been a day, man. We got some serious rain come down on the drive home. I was out trying to work today because I'm like, yo, I gotta get to this, finish this restoration. And I'm like almost there. But man, it came down on me again, like every time I try it. Kevin says, dope where I'm from. Yep, I get it. Good show. Me too, broski. Hold on 1 second. Sometimes I have to get off camera so that when I'm eating cake and drinking tea, that I don't get any sponsorship violations or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody to come in here and be like, hey, you didn't pay for that brand of tea. There's that rain coming down again. Pine and Oak Woodworks, what's good? Y'all go check them out. Check out Runic too. Runic is dope. Bruce Wayne, do you have a channel? Or are you just an incredible supporter of the woodworking community? Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. My man. Alright. Let's see what we got with this thing here. First thing with this, I'm gonna have to locate one of my tanks of propane. I hope they're not outside in a truck, cause man, I'm gonna let you see what's going on outside. Hold tight. Man, a white. Monsoon out there. Well, I ain't going out there no time soon. Not going out there. Let me go upstairs and check real quick and see if my backup propane is available. I'll be right back. Y'all don't go nowhere. Keep yourselves occupied. And that quote is from the Disney movie Sandlot. Ha! I remember that. You ain't lying, bro. I'm back in Georgia. Had some meetings and that stuff came down earlier. Boy, it's coming down now, homie. It's coming down now. I'm gonna find Listen, I may go out and disconnect from over here, but it'll reconnect. Back. Wait, that would have been dramatic if that was like, but it didn't do that at all. It's just, yeah. All right. So, give me a second. Clean up a little bit. Get ourselves in an ideal situation for our dinner. I really am eating cake off camera. I'm a fat kid at heart. I just burn fuel fast. Don't fall. Canes fall all the time. That's why I made a hook on this one, so that it wouldn't fall and break. Gotta appreciate a clean workshop. This place? So not a clean workshop right now. But I guess that's why you're making a little sad face. Aww. Ben says, build a bass guitar. Yeah, eventually I will build a guitar. I think I want to try an acoustic one first, but that's going to be some research, man. That is definitely going to be some research. Eternal Gray, I'm sorry I'm hurting your feelings with my filthy shop. But you know, it ain't that bad. It's a work-in shop. We work in it. In no TV studio. Let me get this together. Let's do it old school if we got it. You know what I mean? I don't want a heavier flame than that, though. I'm good with it. See if it does anything, huh? Get my hands wet. Get the cane wet a little bit on this side. And on this side. Charcoal. Get some barbecue cane. There we go. Be careful, we don't want to crack it. Let that cool down a little bit. We're gonna do this in stages. We don't want to heat this wood up and crack it, and it just pop on us. That would be tragic. What we want to do is not cook it. We want to singe it. You know what I mean? Okay, I got one. Oh, gotta appreciate a clean workshop. It's clean cause he just yaps. No, I mean salute. My bad. Man has balls of fire, literally. Kermit GS, welcome. What do you do? Are you just yapping? What do you do? Cause so far, you just yap with your fingers over there, Twitter fingers. What's your channel doing right now? Cause you over here. Cracks me up how many people will show up because they ain't got nothing going on and talk trash about people who actively have stuff going on. Like, where do you get the unmitigated goal? Alright, back to the fire. Goofball. Oh, you can't see. Alright. There we go. I just yap. Boy, I'm the hardest working man in business. Talking about it. I yap for your mother. That's going good. But I do yap. What up, Randall? How you doing? How you thinking? Superfly guy says, I think it's cooked enough. Making egg sandwiches, obviously. Obviously. That smoke coming off it. That smoke coming off it. Oh, you can't see it. That's weird. How come I can see it? I do think I like how the black is going. Isn't that giving it a little bit more texture? But we're gonna go for the whole thing. We're gonna try the whole thing. My real worry though is that in cooking it, I'm gonna cook my glue and separate these. So maybe another idea might be to throw some dye in it. Maybe we do a little epoxy on it. I don't know. What you think? Well, yeah, I am going to put a varnish on it eventually. But first, I do want to get this whole section black. And I like the charring look of that. but I do want it consistent. So I might go to the brushes and go to some dyes and then start to dye this. It's going to be a delicate thing because dyes tend to get into wood grain and soak in beyond where you want it to go. So I'm going to have to be really careful about that part of it. Uh, and I don't want to use paint. I want stain or something like it. You know what I mean? Put this here for a quick sec. And we'll figure out a way to get some good coloration going on in here. Because I do have some black stain, some black dye. Not that I know where it's at. Could also make some black into some epoxy. And then do a resin over it. And just kind of paint it on. So I've got some epoxy here. It might help keep it held together. Epoxy is good for waterproofing as well. Man, I move around so much stuff. We got so much junk. Oh, here we go. Maybe we need something. Mix it in. All right, I guess that's the way of it. All right, who else is in here trying to hurt my damn feelings? Brandon says he's doing good. How you doing today? Wes, I'm doing excellent. Shadow Titan says I never did have fall in love and never had a first kiss. And I'm a 28-year-old guy. Just need the right person. Everything is hurting. Listen, man. You came to the right place. A woodworking channel is exactly where you want to pour your heart out. When you see a good guy with a cane and a tube of epoxy, you're in a safe space. You're in a safe space, brother. I'm just kidding. What are you, a weirdo? This guy over here with the not getting the girls and the... I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Flossie in the building. How you doing, Miss Flossie? Peace. Dang, Shadow Titan, I ran y'all. All right, let's see. Black. That's what we want. Black. Very. Also what we want. Let's see. Brush. You have a small brush somewhere. Try it. Easy enough. We're starting the middle, work our way out. See if that makes any sense. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez. I might just do that. only on the band. Sand everything else back down clean. Let's see if I can give you a little bit better look, okay? I don't know if that is or not. Yeah, we're just going to start inside of here, and this way it'll just kind of be a practice. That way we'll know what our limitations are, we'll learn the material, learn how this die is going to work on this wood. And if we're ambitious enough to continue trying to ribbon around without getting into the face, then maybe we'll do that. But if not, my first intention was to make this whole section black, so I will be satisfied as a consolation if I do just have to do that. Because this is more of the experiment with the ribbon and the painting of it. Man, that dye is really behaving a lot better than I anticipated, if I'm being honest. And I got no reason to lie to you. Damn, maybe that guy was right. Might just be yapping. Maybe he accidentally typed yaps instead of raps. Maybe you're trying to say I got sick flows. Yeah. It's possible. Not too shabby out here, and you, says Flossie. I'm good. I think for the knife guy, string roosters, I think. Yep. Oh, they having a conversation. My bad. The black on the ribbon is definitely good, says Eternal Gray. Appreciate it. Greeks from Australia. What's up, freak? Super freaky, yeah. In Australia, do they know who Rick James is? I'd like to know. Inquiring minds. But this black ribbon going around and these places that are charred that are not on the ribbon looks kind of tough. Like, I'm into it. Like, it looks surprisingly tough to me, and that's my want for these canes. I don't want to make old feeble man canes. I don't want your dad to feel like he's weak and getting something to hold him up. I want him to feel like he's getting something to knock a Rottweiler out, if he needed to, while he was on his morning stroll through the neighborhood. That's what I want. And to do it with some class and some style and some masculine energy. I mean, it's a black tie affair, you know? Got a king with a karma bond over here. Flossie says, or a feeble woman. I appreciate that. Not as well. Randall says I'm doing a hell of a job. Wes, you don't yap. You stay focused on what you work on and you speak how you feel. Then he made the muscle hands. That's what's up. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for showing up and entertaining us too. Love the people that talk in the chat. It really helps keep the momentum and the energy good and clean. Some people are here for the visuals, and I can dig that too. Some people will just hear the sounds. But the chat must not be neglected. And sometimes I'm trying not to cut my digits. I get a little bit lost. And the chat suffers. Oh, I am really so shocked and pleased at how well this dye, how well this wood managed this dye. Oh, I am thrilled with you. Thrilled with you. So far, that is looking boss. That is looking official dizzle. Take that around the corner a little bit. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm going to let that soak in a little bit. In fact, I'm going to try to dab off a little bit of the extra because I don't want it to look like paint at all. I don't. But I want it there. I want to be able to see wood grain, but I want it significantly deeper. And I don't want to see a lot of that ribbon either. In between it, the two colors. In fact, I almost made a boo-boo just now. I'm going to apply just a tad more color here. I'll show you right there. I want that ribbon in this vertical. I want that covered up entirely in that space, right? My bad. Where it's intersecting here, I want that to carry the depth of one thing rather than these through. On this side, it doesn't matter. Back here, I want to make it a little deeper. Let it go a little further, let it soak in a little more. So that color stays in there. Gave a bit of sand on this before so I could open it up a little bit. And then that fire, I think, helped a little bit too. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Don't worry, it won't be shiny long. That'll dry up and the shininess will fade. Just saying, what's up, Wes? Love the woodworking skills and quality, says Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to adjust my hat. Ugh. Thanks. We have burning wood. Now, we also have this plane. This is a Stanley number 4. But it is the one called the Handyman. So this one wasn't quite as good as Stanley's I have, but it is a 1940s, I think, to 50s model. But the chip breaker and the blade on this thing were grabbing and letting in all kinds of wood, like it was building plywood in between the two. Jack of all trade is called, says Matthew. Appreciate you, sir. So, yeah, the thing I'm going to take apart and get that blade and that chip breaker matched up some kind of way so we can get nice slices. My goal is to, I've got 6 planes, 6 number 4 planes, 3 Stanleys, 1 Craftsman, maybe 4 Stanleys, 1 Craftsman, and Harbor Freight, and something else. Anyway, they're all number 4s, and I want them all to run perfect. I want them all cutting good, and I won't stop until they all are. So for a little bit, we're gonna let this dry, maybe sit over here. Did y'all see the little trick in this thing right now? Got the crosses in there. I'll show you. See it? See how it's greenish? Bada boom. The other side is red already, but also a cross, but a different one. All right. So that's that. Oh, did you see that? Oh. Ugh. Let's see if we can catch it before it goes. Ugh. Man, oh, that looks good though. When you wipe it off though, it looks good. All right, but I want it heavy on that ribbon part, so I'm going back over that. Put a little more on there. Tighten up, buttercup. See what happens. I get too distracted. Doctor said I had OCD. I call it CDO in alphabetical order, like it should be. Dead jokes, dead jokes. Okay, I didn't ruin it, but I'm going to put it somewhere where I cannot break that too. All right, let's put the fan on it. This fan here. Dry it. Kind of like that dye. I don't know if I want to do it to this one yet. I'm thinking a rounding of the part between the ribbons would make it stand out more. A rounding of the part between the ribbons. Oh, you know what? I did do that. That is interesting that you say that. I rounded it up so that the ribbon looks like it's squeezing it a little bit. I'll try to pick this up and bring it closer down. But if you look close, see how it kind of rounds. And it's kind of squeezing it out of them. That was kind of the idea. Maybe you're saying I haven't rounded it quite enough to get the effect. Oh, yep, I see it now more that it's dry. But yeah, man, great minds. Great minds. think we was on the same page there. But here's an idea to maybe I'm gonna have to do a little bit more sanding to get some of that scuffing off, and then also kind of blend some of that other dark in there. I think I want to add a little bit of that dye inside of there, just to rustic it up, so it's not as sharp and stark a contrast. Because I do like it that way. But I do like the look of it being a little bit singed around there. But man, there's a lot of good stuff going on with this cane now. So I'm really happy with it so far. And it's getting more and more finishing. Like I've kind of gotten what I accomplished a couple of times, but you know, sometimes you're doing it for the sake of the experiment, right? First, the lamination of the 3 pieces to make 1 piece, and that worked out great. I was very happy. And then to carve an actual cane out of that, I was very happy for that to have happened. And then the experiment with the shape of the cane and the head and all of that. And then we wanted to do more, and I did the ribbon, wrap it around it, and I was thrilled with that, but still it didn't look complete. And then I did the epoxy in the head, and now we are doing blackening of the ribbon and the varnishing of the wood. Varnishing? Varnish? I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong word. But yeah, it's looking good back there. It's looking good. Burn this other cane over here. Wait, I'm not saying that way. Setting a small fire elsewhere. So now, let's go ahead and start putting it. I'm going to put this dye away, but I can come back to it if I need to. Don't worry about my incense. That's how I keep my vibe cool. Don't worry, my shop's not burning down. Just this your owner. Alright, right now I don't think we need this epoxy yet. Not for this. So let's get it out of the way. Let's start putting things away so this shop won't get any worse than it already is. This is relatively well-loaded space, and it's wonderful to me. Pop Mario, how you doing? Flossie says, does it look a little like a bird to anyone else? Just me, eh? Flossie, I'm gonna say this, and then it's gonna be hard for you to unsee. Kind of looks like a Muppet bird. Like if Jim Henson made a bird, like this thing could, like, it could be like my little sidekick over here. I could be telling dad jokes with another little sidekick, you know. Hebrew. Yeah, like a cartoon toucan, like a gonzo. This should have been called the gonzo cane. Oh, perfect, CJ. It's like, you know, when you see somebody, you're like, who does that guy look like? I know it's a guy he looks like, but that's exactly. It's the gonzo cane. How do you call a flooded hospital? Oh, vegetable soup. Matthew, that was in poor taste. Hilarious. Oh, I should have let the cane tell that joke. Let's see. Hello, Kane.
Hello, Russ. What do you call a flooded hospital?
I don't know, Kane. First, sir. Sound effects and everything. How does a hippie polygamist call his wives? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. See? All I need is a dad joke to come in here and throw me into a whirlwind of foolishness, and now I'm staining my whole game. Matthew, this is all your fault. This is looking incredible though. Oh, that's looking so good. But I'm gonna have to smear these little move parts. All the others I can just sand that down. I still gotta finish to put on. Let me get my goofy thumbs off of the rest of it. I'm holding it with the black dyed hands. Now anything below here getting sanded down heavy anyway, so I'm not worried about that. But I do want this in the ribbons to get nice and dry, but with plenty of it. I wanted all of this to soak in. I'm less concerned about the lower parts, but I need all of this to be getting dark. I need it to be getting like West Desert dark, like deep mocha, like Samuel Jackson. Dark. I love that I can make jokes that other people can't. That's how I find equality. Alright, this is looking good. Put it down before I muck it up further. But yeah. Now it looks like a sophisticated gonzo with a bow tie on. I'm so glad my buddy does not watch YouTube. He'll never see this. So hopefully it won't get stuck in his head. He'd probably be like, what the freak is a gonzo? Oh. It gives me Aztec vibes. The cross could be a conquistador acquisition. That is far more sophisticated than I got capacity for. Flossie and CJ are cracking up at Matthew's dad jokes. I love it. I got other jokes I can't say in here, and I'll keep them for me, those ones. Oh. You crossed the line. You're crossing the line when you say that, my friend. You crossed the line. That's what Canelo Alvarez said to, who was it, Caleb Plant, when you call him a motor scooter. What do you say about my mother? You crossed the line, my friend. You crossed the line. And then he beat the brakes off of Caleb Plant. Oh, CJ, you up out? Well, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here. If that's what you mean by have fun, y'all. Or you could just be in the room, still have, you might be like, have fun, y'all, just in general. But it sounds like an exit. We gotta figure out this plane. The last adventures of this thing. Caught a bunch of wood. these two. Because the plane should not have any light in between these two. It's properly engaged. That's enough to be properly engaged. And if you can see my t-shirt through there, then you know it ain't good. We'll do the light test for you. That light comes through. And for me, it does a lot. And for you too. That little line through there. So anyways, we know it's messed up. We'll get the shoe, frog, and the cat liver out of the way. And we'll focus on these two parts right here. And we're going to have to figure out why it's not meeting up and what part of it isn't flat. And to do that, I'm going to get something that I know is flat, relatively speaking. And I'm going to test both of these. And my desktop is flat. This needs to be flat and clean. So this is our blade. And when I press this side, I get no movement. When I press this side, I get this corner bouncing. Let's see if that'll show up here. Same way. That's it. That didn't do anything. Yeah, there's a bow because it's bouncing. I'll just have to do it on here where I know it's flat. I've got a little bit of movement. I got a little bit of movement like this too. Let's flip it over to make sure it's not the surface here, because I can push and get a little bit of bounce. So I don't think that is dead flat. We can work that out. But I'm more concerned with the breaker tip, or blade tip, and the breaker tip. So let's see if this is flat though. Let me just use this against it to see. Where's the combination square? I don't see many problems there. Check it for flat. I'll do that. I do see a little, very slight bit of cupping on this blade. Let's see how the chip breaker is, but it's very, very little. Clip breaker. Seems square. Seems flat. Not flat. Let's look through the light and see what we got. It's bold. I'm going to have to put pressure down on this. I need to mark it so I don't forget what side is doing it. I've never really encountered this problem before. So what I'm going to do is get a couple clamps. F clamp. And a third. I'm just going to have to put a little pressure on this thing. Eternal says, thanks for letting me chill here. I'll subscribe. This was entertaining. I'll see you guys later. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night. Flossie says, I learned an interesting thing somewhere. Don't kill me. It was if it was one of you. But it had handles and really old planes and a clunker shorter while the taller balls are newer. Oh, it was from Rooster, I think. Oh, the taller balls are the newer ones. Gotcha. Rooster has a lot of good information. I couldn't believe he was a knife sharpening guy. When I first saw him live, I was fascinated with his shop. I thought he was just a bona fide woodsmith, because he is good. Now, what do we want to do with this thing here? We just want to put some pressure to unbolt this middle section that is allowing the wood to get inside. Just want to press down here, out here. So how do we do that without creating a new problem? First, just lock this down. I think we can somehow use an F-clamp like a vise, put some pressure on it. Like, why wouldn't that work? Other than physics, jump like that. Stupid physics. I'm trying to take the bow out of this blade. I got a new idea. I got a little bit of a bow in this here blade. And I need to move a little bit of that bow out so that it doesn't grab all my shavings. I think I'm figuring something out. Got that popsicle stick in the middle. So this is pressure, this is pressure. That's up pressure. Matthew says we're going to the hospital tomorrow for my ketamine, lidocaine, and others for depression and chronic neuropathic pain due to hockey accident in 2006. So I'll go to sleep 3 hours, then home. Man, that sounds rough, bro. Sorry to hear that. I'm glad you got some time. I caught his live last night and it was really good. Oh, Roosters? Yeah, I missed it, I think. One side could be bowed a bit, though, as long as it comes together correctly at the tip. Now, at the tip, there's a bow in it is the problem. And it's a bow that's allowing all of my chips to get through the chip breaker. Because the chip breaker's spot on now. I remember when we did that, we got this straight, and it seems to still be. But when I look through, I see the light is coming from here. So I'm just kind of cranking down on either side of it with a little popsicle stick in between, so I don't put too much pressure. But I want to get that bow back, and then I'm going to check it and see if it worked. If it didn't, we can always reverse that. Correct. The bow in the wrong. So Matthew, you must have been a serious hockey guy. I'm sorry to hear about the accident. And I'm glad at least there's something that they're able to do for you. Let's see. Let's check it again. I can't tell if that was the right one. One more time. Maybe I gotta go all the way back and just get the tip, the tippity tip. Alright, let's try it again. Thank y'all for your patience while I bumble through the bumblery that I'll be bumbling through. And I thank you, Boo-Boo, for all that you do. And then maybe I'll scooch these a little bit further to the edge and let it sit like that for a quick second. Violin Royalty says, hey Wes, how was your day? It was good, man. I was able to sit with my client today after I got rained out again, and sit on his porch and drink some lemonade and iced tea like an old dude while the rain came down for a little bit, and just chatted with him because his father, turns out, was a professional painter. I never knew that about him. We talked about that for a while. His brother was a carpenter. I knew him while he was alive. I did not know their father. And I also found out I know his brother from a local market here that I used to go to while it was open. And I never knew that was his brother. It's crazy. So I'm going to close these up and see how well that worked, and then we might try this thing. And I didn't realize just until the other day that you can use the cap lever for that screw. I had no idea. I think that was Rex Kruger that showed me that. But it works. Oops. Alright, that's what we got. Maybe we can find something that we can practice. Let's see if it'll work on. See if we got a clean shaving that we can make. You know I had a 2x4 here somewhere. You know I had a 2x4 here somewhere. It's gone now. Let's figure out what we can do something else. Alright. Let's work on this little thing. Put a couple of clamps and hold it in place. And then we'll run the plane across it. See if what we did worked. I should put that on the other side. Not bad. Not bad, bro. Let's just lock that down. Almost. Got a couple of knot holes literally to go through. That'll be fun. But got our cane better. We're gonna have to sand that bottom to get that back decent. Okay, we're gonna start at 0. And then we'll just tighten up a little bit. Make contact. Tighten it. This is what we're tightening right here. But just a little bit. It's going to bring that blade out of that mouth. That's why we're turning that.